Hey guys, welcome back to the Hermitcraft Modsauce server. It is episode 4 and I am raring to go, as I'm sure all of you can tell. I am so excited to be recording today's episode because I have got a whole ton of plans. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff, but before we even start doing all of that stuff, I've actually got a ton of bits that I need to show you. As you can see, I have been doing a little bit of work here. I can't really remember how much I've actually shown you. I don't know how much I've shown you in the previous episode, but I'm fairly certain we didn't have all of this stuff, okay? So what we've got is we've actually got an ender chest set up into the base. So in the quarry world that we have that's over there, we have now got the quarry that is currently running. I've got a third quarry now, 64 by 64, so we really are raking in resources. And on top of that quarry, we have got one of the ender chests that is putting all of the items into the ender chests, and then the ender chest over here is picking up the items and putting them all into all of these chests. So what we've got is we've got 190,000 cobblestone, we have got 4,000 coal, bunch of redstone, a bunch of marble, a bunch of gravel, tons and tons of iron, and just loads of everything. If you take a look in all of these chests here, we've got about 3 stacks of diamonds around about, loads of limestone, which I don't know what we're going to do with, and essentially just tons of stuff. So we are pretty good to go in terms of resources, and that has opened up a bunch of really awesome opportunities for things that we need to do. So there are a few ideas I have in mind, okay? I want to do a few bits and pieces with Mechanism. Can you believe it? Mechanism, my favourite mod. We're going to be working on that a little bit in today's episode. So as you can see, I have been looking up things that we need to do. So I want to make a wind turbine to power my Metallurgic Infuser, but it turns out that actually you need the Metallurgic Infuser to make the wind turbine. So I suppose what we're going to have to do is we will have to craft up the Metallurgic Infuser, and we will have to set that up temporarily next to the quarry where there is power, so we can power that just for a couple of seconds and then get ourselves some of these enriched alloys, because we need tons of those to do all of the mechanism stuff. So a Metallurgic Infuser is spelt very strangely, as you can see it up here, but it is that little device there, and as you can see, it's a fairly cheap little thing. In fact, I reckon we'll be able to make that right now. So if I head over here, we'll grab some cobblestone from our DSU that we have over here. So, whoa, okay, that wasn't intentional. I didn't mean to do all of that. So we'll grab ourselves some cobblestone from the DSU. Not all of the cobblestone, that was bad. And we'll chuck it into the crafting bench here. So we need 2 furnaces and a little bit of iron, I seem to remember. So it is the 2 furnaces right there. And then we need an osmium ingot, which I suppose, I'm assuming, I mean, I've got a bit of osmium on us. I assume that we just chuck this into the furnace and it works like everything else, which it looks like it does. So that's always a good sign. So we need 1 osmium ingot, and then the rest is just iron and redstone. So that is brilliant. We've already done something essential that we needed to do in today's episode. So let's grab this out of here and let's craft up the Metallurgic Infuser. And what this allows us to do, like I say, is to get all of those enriched alloys, which are really essential for pretty much everything in the Mechanism mod. And eventually we'll get loads of speed upgrades and efficiency upgrades for this thing, so then really we can be rocking the house and getting tons and tons of the enriched alloys. So in theory, this little setup here should work. Let's take a look, and that is a good sign. That whole bar has gone green, which means that it has probably fully charged up quite quickly, which is nice to hear. Essentially, originally I placed it down right here, and obviously, as it was explained to me by King Daddy DMAC, the way that these ones work is you have an energy extraction pipe, and then that has to go into a transfer node before it can go into any other mechanisms. And I got a bit confused then. So this is the Metallurgic Infuser, and what we can do is we chuck in redstone on this side, and as you can see, this little redstone thing has filled up. It hasn't gone up particularly much, as you may have noticed. We put in a full stack there, and it's only gone up by 640. I'm assuming it goes to 1,000. But then what we have to do is we throw in some iron here, and it will work its way along, and then we will get these enriched alloys at the end. Now these are used in pretty much everything in Mechanism. We've got the atomic disassembler, we have the digital miner, we have the wind turbines that we need them for. All of that stuff requires these enriched alloys. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this thing running for a fairly long time, just gathering up all of these enriched alloys. It would be so much quicker if we had the speed upgrades, but they also use these enriched alloys. So sadly, there's not many ways in which we can make this any faster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one running, and then we will pick all of these up once they're done. I'm actually posed with a bit of a dilemma here. Do I use up all of the enriched alloys that I already have to make this Metallurgic Infuser faster to make more enriched alloys, or do I just forget all of that and use all of the enriched alloys that I have on the things that I want to build? I don't know. So it took a few centuries, but the Metallurgic Infuser has finished doing what it needed to do, and I've actually done just a little bit of crafting stuff in between the previous cut and this one. So as you can see, we have got all of the enriched alloys there, and we also have 4 basic control circuits. They are also done by putting osmium ingots into the Metallurgic Infuser, and as you can see, we just need 1 of those per wind turbine, and then other than that, it is quite simply osmium ingots. So I think we are ready and good to go. So we need the control circuit down at the bottom, we need the energy tablets like that. I'm assuming they don't actually need to be charged, because otherwise we'll need a charge pad, and that's just going to be something else that we need to craft up. So we'll chuck all of those in, and then we'll chuck all of these around like this, and bada bing bada boom, ladies and gentlemen, we have got ourselves 1 wind turbine. Now, what do we need to do? So if we wanted to make another wind turbine, we would need another energy tablet, which are okay to make. We have enough to make a few more of those, so how about we clear all of this stuff out, and we'll chuck all of these in like this, and then we will get all of the redstone. In fact, I'm going to get a full stack of redstone because we're going to need a lot of it, and also a few more osmium ingots. Osmium seems to be the thing that we are running low on a little bit, but we'll chuck in the enriched alloys, and we'll throw in all of this. So we'll make 2 more of those charge pads, which will give us the ability to make 2 more wind turbines, and then all we have to do is get all of this stuff out, and then do that. And oh, it looks like we might not have everything that we need, because that just didn't work then for some reason. I mean, in my opinion, I thought we had everything. Yeah, we do seem to have everything. So we'll do all of that, and then yeah, we have got ourselves a second wind turbine. So if you head outside and we chuck these down, I'm going to make the assumption that these are going to look really cool, okay? I'm going to say that these look really cool. I have used them before in the Yogscast Complete world, but that was in a slightly different update. I don't know if they've changed it. Mechanism seems to have changed a little bit, but let's place this down, and yes, would you look at that? Our base looks like it means business. That thing is turning. It is outputting 20 kilojoules, 25 kilojoules. Wow. Yeah, it's doing a decent job there. I'd say we're doing okay, and we'll place down the other one here. Oh, don't we look like we mean business now? We can run a wire straight into the base, and everything is going to be looking pretty awesome indeed. So it has been a couple of days since that last cut, but in that time I have managed to do a whole bunch of new stuff. As you can see, we have now connected up the wind turbines running straight into the base. So now we have a power source inside the base, which is something that was definitely necessary. We didn't have any power in the base, so now we have a way to turn on all of the machines and get a whole bunch of new modded stuff going on. And as you can see, I have made a little system here. It's only a tiny one, but this is a pulverizer and a redstone furnace setup. So what happens is you chuck a bunch of ore into the pulverizer, it then gets crushed down, turned into dust, and as you can see, we actually get 2 dust per ore, which means that we get 2 ingots per ore, which is brilliant. I mean, that's really good. You get twice as much ore stuff as you would if you were playing normal vanilla Minecraft. I mean, I know you get the same thing when you're using the smeltery, but I find the smeltery to be a little bit annoying to use. For example, we have a bunch of osmium in there, and we have to clear all of that out, and then we can switch that out for tin, which, I've just made an error. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, I don't use the smeltery. It's frustrating. Now, on top of all of those fandangle bits, we also have this rare earth magnet, and this thing is just the bee's knees. If you take a look at this, right, we have a bunch of cobblestone over there. We can head this far away, okay, until the items are out of render distance, and then we hold shift and right click, and we pick them up. What? That was like 15 blocks away. How incredible is that? It's like the best thing ever. I mean, when you're farming, all you have to do is just walk along. As soon as you break something, you just pick it up immediately. It's just amazing. Seriously, this is one of the coolest things I could possibly find in the mod pack. And cheers to Slipgator for showing me how to craft this one up, because that is going to come in so handy. Don't know what for yet. I really don't know what for. Maybe it's for standing behind hermits while they're trying to do all of their stuff, just picking up all their items. Probably that. But I'm sure I can find a use for something. Now I'm beginning to work on some of the mechanism bits and pieces. They all require steel, and steel is a little bit of an odd one to make. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it the Metallurgic Infuser way, get myself steel dust, and then what we can do is we can chuck that into a furnace, I do believe, and then it will become some form of steel ingot. So basically what I'm currently doing is I have now got myself some coal. We'll chuck that into the Metallurgic Infuser, and that was way too much. Oh, I didn't mean to put that much in. And then if we grab ourselves some iron as well, we need to make some of the Enriched Iron. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, it's going through and it needs to turn into that little blob that you saw earlier. So there it is. And then if we take that out, I believe if we run it through again, is that what it said? Then it will turn into steel dust. So I'll be interested, like I say, to see how all of this goes. This is just running off my memory, but by the look of things, that has worked, and then we can just chuck it into our redstone furnace. We'll get rid of that stuff, and we'll throw it in, and we should get ourselves one steel ingot. Okay, so that is how all of that one works. That's nice to know. So I'll just chuck in all of my iron, and then I'll repeat the same process again. In theory, we could have 2 metallurgic infusers, and then a chest at the end for steel production. That might be an idea. Yeah, I might do that. So the tool that I'm actually working towards here is the Atomic Disassembler, which is absolutely amazing. And I've been told by the other hermits that all of the problems server side have now been fixed with that thing. So that means that we can actually go ahead and give it a use. Because beforehand it was causing render problems and all other bits and pieces were going wrong. And I thought I might as well stay away from that one. But the things that we need is we need ourselves a crusher. So first off, I guess we need to make ourselves some steel casing. So I have got myself a few osmium blocks. As you can see, actually, one thing that I do want to point out is that these osmium blocks look really quite cool. I don't really know what I'd want to do with them. I wouldn't want to build my base out of them, but there's some of my favourite blocks I've seen recently in the mod pack. So let me know what you think I could do with some of them, because they're quite cool. But anyway, if we head over here, we need to make ourselves some steel casing. So as you can see, I have got all of my steel together, and then we'll chuck some osmium right in the middle, and there we go. Right, so we've got the steel casing. Now, we need to make an osmium compressor and also the crusher. The crusher looks relatively easy. Easy-ish, I suppose. I mean, there's various different ways to do it, but I reckon we'll be able to do that quite simply. So if we grab ourselves some redstone dust from this DSU right here, and we'll chuck that into the Metallurgic Infuser, and also a few osmium ingots as well. And then that should make some of the basic circuits that we need, and we actually need a few of those, because I know that the osmium compressor uses advanced redstone circuits, which are the red ones. But if we take a look here, we also need 2 lava buckets and some redstone dust. So if I grab myself some of the buckets from over here, in theory, I believe this is how it works. I should be able to right-click on the lava chest that we have. I mean, we already have 1 bucket of lava, so that's a good start. If we grab the lava bucket here and right-click on the barrel, yes, it does look like we get ourselves the lava bucket. So this is all a little bit simpler than I was actually expecting. So we put all of these in here, and then the steel casing right in the middle. We'll grab ourselves some redstone dust, because we need a little bit more of that. So we'll chuck that in the 4 corners, and then in theory, it is just the 2 circuits left to go. So those 2 in there, and then over to the Metallurgic Infuser, we've got ourselves 4 basic circuits. Let's place these ones in, and we have got ourselves 1 crusher, which is perfect. Okay, so we've got 1 of those. I'll place that in right here, and that is what that thing looks like. Now, we need to chuck a diamond in there, and that will crush it down and turn it into diamond dust, because we need to put that into the Metallurgic Infuser so that we can get refined obsidian dust. Okay, so we've got diamond dust now, and we are actually going to have to dump out all of that redstone. Oh, what a waste. What a waste that was. But if we chuck that in there, you can see it has now gone through, and some pulverized obsidian in here. That is now traveling across. Oh, this is all good news. It's all working out a lot better than I was expecting, okay? So that will reach the end, and it will be a nice dark purple dust, just like that. The good news is that we have now got atomic alloys as well as the obsidian ingot. The bad news is that I actually ran out of hard drive disk space, which seems to be an ongoing problem at the minute, so I do apologise for that. But we do have a few of the extra bits, so now there is only a few more things to do. We need to make ourselves an energy tablet, and that is it. We will have ourselves an atomic disassembler. We will need to make a charge pad or some way to charge it, but we're not going to worry about that for the minute. So, to make the charge tablet, the energy tablet, we need gold, we need redstone, and we need these things. Okay, so we'll put those in like that, and then we'll get ourselves some gold from this chest right over here, and that is all of the stuff. So here goes. We've got the energy tablet. That is all done. The 3 right up the middle, and there it is. And then we place this down here. We need 2 enriched alloys on either side, so we'll do that. And then we need the atomic alloy, and then the obsidian ingot, and there we go. We have got an atomic disassembler. It's completely out of the charge at the minute. It's not going to work at all, but oh man, I am so happy we've got one of these. Yes, I'm going to destroy everything as soon as we get this thing charged. So one really easy way to charge this thing is to apparently place it inside the energy node that we have right here, and that has done the job. So let us set the mode. We are currently in fast mode, and let's take a look. Oh my god, oh, I've destroyed my base. What a bad place to start testing this thing out. I've completely taken out half my roof, but as you can see, this is a monster. Oh, this combined with my tiny little magnet. Let's take a look. If we flick this one on, and then we get the atomic disassembler, and we just start mowing things down. Oh yes, it is a match made in heaven. A match made in heaven. I'm so happy right now. We did it. We've got an atomic disassembler. Next up on my long list of things to do is, of course, to get myself one of these. Now, this is something that I've wanted for a very long time, but finally, I feel like we're at a stage in which we could actually make one of these. But this is the digital miner, and what this does is it allows you to make a quarry that doesn't make a massive hole, and it doesn't take out any of the useless stuff. For example, stone, dirt, wood, and all that sort of thing. None of that gets picked up. Instead, it just goes for all of the valuables, and then it teleports them to the digital miner and puts them into all of your chests. So essentially, we're just going to get tons of ores, and on top of that, you can actually specify what ores you want, do various different searches and things. It's all pretty high tech, and it means that we're going to get ourselves tons of resources. But there is a little bit of a problem, and that is the fact that it is a very expensive little machine, and it's going to take quite a long time to craft up. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do most of the crafting off camera, because a lot of it is all of the same stuff that you just watched me do a couple minutes ago, and I don't want to put you through that once again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to work on crafting myself one of these, and then I will catch you guys in a little bit. I think I might have everything put together now to make the digital miner. Okay, so I've been crafting away for probably the past half an hour or so, but this is what we've managed to do. So if I click on this, oh, that generally means that something is missing. I so thought we had everything there. So what do we need? We need that in the middle. We have got 2 of the atomic cores. They go up in the top like this, and then we have the teleporters that go down like that. And in the middle, we have the robot. So what are we missing? We've got a steel casing. Okay, apparently it didn't go down into the crafting recipe, but there we go. Digital miner. We've done it. It's done. Let me place this down. There she is. The digital miner is right here. And look at this thing. So basically what we have to do is we have got the little menu down here. We go on the config, and then we can add in filters, set the radius, the minimum height, the maximum height, and then also you can see we can set it to silk touch, eject things, everything. Everything is there, and it's all done. I can't believe it. Okay, so we've made a digital miner. Now it's time to hook this up to some form of power source and leave it to do its business. I've done some fiddling about, and this is what I've managed to come up with. So we have the digital miner down at the bottom. We then have a lava generator, which is directly on top of it. And the way that you make one of these is you put 8 of those original lava generators that I had around the energy node, and this produces 8 times as much power, but of course it doesn't take up the same amount of space, which is extremely useful, and that has allowed this to be powered very easily and compactly. And then of course on top of that we have the ender tank, which is connected up to the pump that we have in the nether that is pumping all of the lava from the nether into the overworld and also the quarry world, because we have our quarry running at the same time as well. Now, out the back we also have an ender chest, which is connected to this system that we have over here for sorting and storing all of the items. So we have an ender chest up there somewhere, and it is running all of the items along, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this happen, but this is actually connected up. It is all working. All of the items from the digital miner are coming in through the system, and they are all going straight into the chest and all of the DSUs. So it is working, and it is doing a fine job at getting a ton of items. The only thing that I will say is that it is running a little bit slow at the minute, so I think what I'm going to do is get myself some speed upgrades and some efficiency upgrades, and then we should mean business. I have managed to create the greatest digital miner you can possibly get in the game. Oh, it seems to be running a little bit low on power though. That's one thing that I will say. Okay, so we are running out of power a little bit here, so I'll take off one of the speed upgrades and we'll see if that helps out the situation. Oh, it is still going down. Let's take a look. Alright, so we're increasing. So we have got 7 times speed multiplier, which is brilliant. I mean, we're getting tons and tons of resources. As you can see here, this is how fast it is transporting all of the ores from under the ground into the digital miner and then into my ender chest. So that is pretty quick. I mean, we really are getting a lot of resources here. If we take a look in the chest, we should see that a few of them are coming in. They're probably going elsewhere in other chests, but they are also visibly going into this one, so that is good. So what that means is we have got 2,500 ores left to mine, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one running, and we will see what we can manage to get. So the digital miner has now finished doing what it was doing. It took around about 20 minutes to finish, which is pretty good, considering we now have 2,500 more ores in our chests than we originally did. But if we take a look in here, you can see that our diamond supplies have increased by around about 50. There's some diamonds dotted about, as well as other ores. I can't really tell where everything is, because obviously everything flows into all of the chests, and whenever I take something out of the chest, then it opens up a spot for more items to flow into. But as you can see, in terms of resources, we are doing a pretty decent job. We have got so much obsidian. I don't know where all of it is coming from. I'm assuming it's all from the quarry, where of course there was lava down at the bottom and all of the water has flown on top of it. But yeah, we have got a lot of the stuff. And also in terms of cobblestone, we have almost got 500,000 and just loads of redstone, loads of coal and all that sort of thing. So I am very, very happy indeed. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.